The 1999 College World Series Highlight Show, a golden year in Omaha. A Golden Year in Omaha is brought to you by Wilson, maker of the official ball for the 1999 NCAA Baseball Championships. The 1999 NCAA Baseball Tournament features an expanded 64-team field. Following the regional competition, 16 teams advanced to the new Super Regional, and 8 teams earned a right to travel to Omaha and play in a double elimination format with a one-game championship. On the line, the NCAA title. The field for the '99 College World Series represents 6 conferences and 5 different states. Independent Miami comes in as the top seed. Florida State from the ACC is seeded number 2. The 3rd seed is Cal State Fullerton from the Big West. The Big 12's Oklahoma State comes in unseeded. Alabama from the SEC is number 5. The 6th seed is Stanford from the Pac-10. The 2nd Big 12 team is number 7 seed Texas A&M, and Rice from the WAC is seeded 8th. The College World Series is special year after year. It's an athletic competition unlike any in sports, and 1999 is of particular interest. Omaha and Rosenblatt Stadium are celebrating the 50th anniversary as host to this spectacular event. And each year, Omaha finds a way to make it better and better. To commemorate Omaha's golden anniversary, a statue was dedicated at the entrance to Rosenblatt Stadium. And to ensure many more memories in Omaha, the NCAA and the City of Omaha announced an extension to the current contract.
We look forward to continuing the improvements that have been made to Rosenblatt and the improvements that have been made to the College World Series. And I think with the new agreement now that this event will continue to be one of the premier sporting events in the country.
To say Oklahoma State is due would be an understatement. The Cowboys are at the College World Series for the 19th time, but have only the 1959 title to show for it. But it's a new era as third-year head coach Tom Holliday makes his first trip to Omaha. Matt Smith leads the Oklahoma State pitching staff. The sophomore struck out 134 batters and has a 2.93 ERA. And the offense is productive too, batting .326 and averaging 2 home runs per game.
Ever since I've seen it on TV, I always told myself it'd be great to be there, and I think that's every college baseball player's goal is to go to Omaha. And my goal is to pick a team that had a chance to go, and fortunately I picked the right team. And right now just looking at the stands and everybody piling in and whatnot, it's just a great experience, and I'm honored to be here.
Head coach Jim Wells leads Alabama to its 5th College World Series and 3rd in the last 4 years. Shortstop Andy Phillips arrives in Omaha looking to extend his 33-game hitting streak. The senior owns the all-time Crimson Tide record for home runs, RBI, and runs scored. On the hill, Manny Torres and Justin Smith lead an excellent Alabama pitching staff.
This is what it's all about, and if you spend your time getting uptight and putting a lot of pressure on yourself, you want to enjoy the time here. And it's still baseball, but it's just a baseball in a whole different meaning. And so this is an incredible feeling, and I hope these guys get to enjoy it, and I hope these guys get to experience it more than this one time.
With the bases loaded in the first, Alabama pitcher Justin Smith gets out of a jam by striking out Lamont Matthews to end the inning. In the bottom of the second, Jeremy Brown gets it going for Alabama.
High fly ball, deep left field. Gotro going back, climbs the wall, but he runs out of room.
Alabama jumps on top, 2-0. Oklahoma State threatened again in the 4th, but Smith shut them down again, this time striking out Lance Smith. Sam Bozanich increased the Alabama lead in the bottom of the 4th.
It's in the gap in left center field and down. Here comes Gullidge. Here comes Wood tugging on his belt. Bozanich to second with a 2 RBI double, and it's 4-0 Alabama.
Oklahoma State finally broke through in the 5th.
Swung on line, shot center field, a base hit. Gotro held up, now being waved around third. Here comes the throw from Keller. It is going to be cut off, and the Cowboys are on the board. It's 5-1.
Now trailing 7-1 in the 6th, Oklahoma State gets some great defense as Jimbo McAuliffe robs Bozanich of a base hit. But Crimson Tide coach Jim Wells knew it was Alabama's day. Antonio Bostic increases the Crimson Tide lead.
Hit that ball high in the air to right field. Lamont Matthews goes back, looks up, and Antonio Bostic has an Omaha home run.
Alabama goes on to win 11-3 and advances to the winner's bracket, while Oklahoma State suffers its first defeat in the 1999 College World Series. Rice makes its second trip to the College World Series and has won the WAC title the last 3 seasons. 8-year head coach Wayne Graham has the best winning percentage in Rice history. Leading the way on the mound for the Owls are 13-game winner Mario Ramos and 15-game winner Jeff Nichols, while the potent Rice offense is led by Will Ford with a .403 average and 11 home runs.
We've been under extreme pressure for quite a while now, and they're under extreme pressure during the year in academics all the time, so I think they can handle it.
What time is it? Game time! 1, 2, 3, game! The Miami Hurricanes advance to the College World Series for the 18th time, including 7 appearances in the 90s. Head coach Jim Morris is the only coach in college baseball history to take his team to the College World Series in each of his first 6 seasons. The Canes offense generates nearly 9 runs per game and are led by right fielder Manny Crespo. Meanwhile, the strong pitching staff has an ERA around 4, led by David Gill and the experienced Alex Santos.
This is the ultimate to come to Omaha. There's no question. I mean, from the first day of practice at Miami in the fall, they're thinking Omaha and saying Omaha. They don't say College World Series. They say Omaha, and this means the same thing. So it's a great opportunity for every one of our players to get a chance to come out here and play, and they're all very excited.
With David Gill on the mound for Miami, Rice strikes early as Will Ford singles, scoring Brett Smith to give the Owls a 1-0 lead. With Rice up 2-0 in the 3rd, Ford comes through again.
That's hit well to right field. Going back, looking up, it is at the wall, gone! Will Ford, a 2-run homer, and the Owls lead at 4-0.
Then a little controversy in the 5th. Miami's Bobby Hill hits it to the wall in center, and a fan reaches over the railing to grab the ball. It was ruled a home run, cutting the Rice lead to 4-2. And Rice coach Wayne Graham could sense the momentum shift as the wheels started coming off for the Owls.
On the ground, Fox with a play, dive, throw in. Oh, bad throw, it gets away. That's going to be an E5 and a run will score, and it's 4-3.
With the score tied at 4 in the bottom of the 6th, Chris Clute goes deep to give the Hurricanes their first lead of the game. Later in the 6th, with the bases loaded and 1 out, the Rice D kept the game close.
Here's the pitch on the way. Curve, rocket. Fox makes a play, steps on third, throws to first, scoop, got him! That's an unbelievable play by Matt Fox.
But then Fox gives it back in the 7th.
Chopper, Fox, it's off the top of the plate, comes home high. That's another error.
Miami extended its lead to 6-4. Vince Vasquez came on in relief and shut down the Owls. Vasquez struck out 5 straight. Miami went on to win 8-4. Texas A&M returns to the College World Series for the 4th time and its first since 1993. Mark Johnson, in his 15th season as head coach of the Aggies, is the school's all-time winningest coach. Lefty Casey Fossum heads up the Texas A&M pitching staff. During the season, he averaged more than 11 strikeouts per 9 innings. And Dalen Holt swings the big bat for the Aggies. He led the NCAA with 34 home runs.
You know, the key's going to be having good control and not walking anybody, because I've been watching the first 2 games, and they seem to get in trouble by their walks. And if we can cut down on that, then and not give them any runs, and if we make them earn their runs, if they get any runs, that's the key. And just pitching and throwing strikes is going to work for us.
Florida State heads to the College World Series for their 17th appearance, though they've returned to Tallahassee empty-handed each time. But head coach Mike Martin brings the Seminoles to Omaha as a serious title contender. This season, the Garnet and Gold set an ACC record by winning 22 conference games. Leading the way for the Seminoles is ACC Player of the Year Marshall McDougal. In one game this season, McDougal set NCAA records with 6 home runs and 16 RBI. The Florida State pitching staff leads the NCAA with a 3.01 ERA, and opponents are batting just .228 versus the Seminoles.
What we want to do is earn the opportunity to play for the national championship, and we have not done that in a long time. So let's just look at it from a standpoint of the opportunity is before us. Now let's see what we can do with it.
Trailing 1-0 in the second, Greg Porter put Texas A&M on the board with a single, scoring Stephen Truitt. But Florida State countered later in the second.
There's a high fly ball to deep center by Bartholomew. Is there enough wind to keep it in? It is out of here. Home run.
3 batters later, it was Matt Diaz.
Pitch to Matty, high fly ball, deep center. On the run, Truitt and Holt. This time, this ball is gone. 2-run homer by Matty Diaz. He hits it into the 3rd row. And Florida State coming to Omaha and playing the long ball. Diaz cranks his 19th of the year.
But Sean Schumacher countered for the Aggies. A solo home run off Nick Stocks cut the Seminoles' lead to 4-2. Texas A&M threatened again in the 5th, loading the bases with no outs. The reliever Chris Chavez answered the call for Florida State and got the Seminoles out of a huge jam.
And the 1-2 pitch. Check swing. He couldn't hold it. Strike 3. Chavez comes in and strikes the side out with the bases loaded and nobody out.
In the bottom of the 5th, Florida State's Brett Groves brings home Carl Jernigan and ups the lead to 6-3. That lead would have grown if not for the defense of left fielder Chad Hudson robbing Chris Hart of an RBI. Florida State extended the lead to 7-3 and closed it out and stopped.
That could do it. Flip the second. One throw to first. Seminoles win. Game-ending double play. 6-4-3. The ball game is over. Florida State is 1-0 in the College World Series.
For the 4th time in the 90s and 11th time overall, Stanford qualified for the College World Series. Head coach Mark Marquis hopes to lead the Cardinal to its 3rd national title. To get to Omaha, Stanford eliminated defending champ Southern California in the Super Regional. Jason Young is the ace of the staff. The sophomore right-hander posted 11 wins and 161 strikeouts during the season. And Josh Hokasang leads the offensive attack. The first-team All-Pac-10 third baseman had 16 home runs and 65 RBI during the season.
I think even Mark McGuire said you never try to hit a home run, so it'd be nice putting those bleachers again like he did 2 years ago, but you know, you never try. I'm just going up there trying to make some solid contact.
1999 marks the 10th College World Series appearance for Cal State Fullerton. The Titans have taken the title 3 times, the last coming in 1995. So this is George Horton's College World Series coaching debut. He actually played in the 1975 College World Series for the Titans. The offense put up huge numbers during the season, averaging over 9 runs per game and batting .344 as a team. But the pitching staff can carry the load as well. Right-handers Adam Johnson and Matt Sorensen combined for a 21-3 record entering the College World Series.
On the bus ride over here, Adam and I were looking over and we saw the flags blowing in, so we kind of looked at each other and smiled. As long as we keep the ball down and trust our stuff, I think we're going to get a lot of ground balls and be real successful.
As Cal State Fullerton warmed up for its game against Stanford, one of the school's most famous alums paid the players a visit.
The 8 best teams in the country are here, and I mean, for the type of school we are, a little state school, it's not necessarily a heavily funded program. It means a lot. It's always reminds that you can do a lot with very little.
With family support in the stands, Stanford's Josh Hokasang started the scoring with a 3-run shot in the top of the third. In the bottom of the fourth, Cal State Fullerton ran themselves out of an inning. Spencer Oborn lined to right, and David Bacani got caught in a rundown for an inning-ending double play. In the fourth, Stanford capitalized. Edmund Muth took Adam Johnson deep, stretching the Cardinal lead to 4-0. The Stanford lead would have increased if not for the outstanding defense by Titans right fielder Robert Guzman. Stanford sophomore Joe Borchard led off the fifth with a solo home run, upping the Cardinal lead to 5-0. But Cal State Fullerton refused to give in. Catcher Craig Patterson went deep for the Titans to cut the Stanford lead to 5-2. But in the top of the sixth, mistakes cost the Titans.
Fake throw back to first. He throws it away. His goal could have been picked off, but a bad throw will score. Muth. Brundtlich rounding the base. He'll come around to score.
Jason Young went the distance for Stanford, allowing just 6 hits while striking out 8. Stanford wins 9-2. Cal State Fullerton will have to battle back through the losers bracket. Continuing the celebration of Omaha's 50th College World Series, a group who played in Omaha's first ever College World Series made the journey to watch the '99 competition. 7 players from the 1950 Colorado A&M team, later renamed Colorado State, gathered at Rosenblatt Stadium to relive those marvelous days. And though it's been 50 years, the memories remain vivid and the stories heartwarming.
Oh, and when we arrived in Omaha for that particular week, we had a luncheon at one of the big hotels. And of course, Texas, Wisconsin, Rutgers, Washington Cougars were all here. And we were milling around, and the boys from Bradley said, "Gee, you're great. When did you get here, and how'd you get here?" I said, "Well, we got here this morning, and we drove here. We came in pickup trucks and cars. Everybody else flew in on airplanes."
And even though the physical aspects of the ballpark may change, the College World Series continues to be special in every way. Game 5 pits 2 teams quite familiar with one another. In the last 3 College World Series, Miami and Alabama have met 4 times, with each team winning twice. The action started early as Miami's Lale Esquivel makes a great play, preventing Andy Phillips from extending his 34-game hitting streak. The game was scoreless until Kevin Brown came to the plate in the 4th.
Kevin Brown swings, sends it deep to left field. If it's fair, it is gone. It is off the fair pole. And the Hurricanes, on a solo homer by Kevin Brown, will take a 1-0 lead.
Then, trailing 2-0 in the 6th, Phillips was able to extend the hitting streak to 35 games with this single. One batter later, G.W. Keller put Alabama on the board.
And Keller hits the ball well to left field. It's down the line. It is off the wall. Phillips is digging for third. Ball kicks away from the left fielder. Phillips is headed for home. Keller's got a stand-up double. It's 2-1.
But Miami got that run right back in the bottom of the 6th. Nick Rodriguez hits a bloop single to left, scoring Esquivel, and the Hurricanes' lead grows to 3-1. Miami starter Alex Santos allowed just 4 hits and struck out 6 in 6 2/3 innings. And leading 6-1 in the 8th, Manny Crespo added insurance for Miami.
Here's a pitch swung on. There's a drive to right center field. It's going to drop in there for a base hit. Around second on the way to third at Seaver. They'll wave him home and he will score. And Miami with a 7-1 lead here in the 8th inning.
Michael New closed the door on Alabama, handing the Crimson Tide their first defeat. With a win, Miami goes to 2-0 and gets a valuable 3-day rest. Game 6 is the first elimination game of the College World Series, and Rice is no stranger to the concept. This is the 7th game in this year's NCAA tournament in which the Owls have faced elimination. But Oklahoma State has dominated the head-to-head series, winning 20 of the 31 games. Defense was a story early as Rice third baseman Matt Fox steps on third and fires home for a double play, getting the Owls out of an early jam. Catcher Zane Curry started the scoring for Rice in the bottom of the 2nd.
That ball's ripped into the left center field gap. Center fielder going back. It's over his head. Zane Curry on his way to second base with an RBI double.
But in the 4th, Carlos Gautreaux tied it for Oklahoma State.
First pitch swung on, ground ball. Second baseman bat hop over his head into right center. That will score 1.
The Cowboys would have taken the lead if not for the fantastic play by Rice shortstop Damon Thames to get the force at second, and Charles Williams put Rice ahead in the 5th.
He's swinging away, hits it well to left field. Looking up towards the gap, and it is off the top of the wall. Fox on his way to third. He will score. Charlie Williams is running up his back leg. He'll stop at third.
Then the Owls' craftiness scores another run.
Pitch is a bunt, third base side. Smith has to cover, picks it up, can't. The Owls score a run.
Down 3-1, Oklahoma State pitcher Matt Smith kept the Cowboys close. In the 6th, he got Zane Curry looking for his 10th strikeout of the game. The Owls' Brett Smith got to him in the 7th.
Hit well to left center field. That's going to the gap. Fox will score. Charlie Williams will round third. He will be waved home and score. It's a 2-run double for Brett Smith. And the Owls have gotten out 5-1.
Down 6-1 in the 8th, Toby Rhodes hit a solo home run for Oklahoma State. Unfortunately for the Cowboys, it wasn't enough. Jeff Nichols finished it off for Rice by striking out Lamont Matthews. The Owls stave off elimination once again with a 7-2 victory, as Oklahoma State is the first team eliminated from the '99 College World Series. Losing twice and being eliminated is heartbreaking, but with that comes valuable lessons and determination to improve. Following Florida State's elimination from the 1998 series, one Seminole player took more than just a memory home with him.
I really wanted to make sure we came back this year, so I kind of just went behind first base and scooped up some dirt, and I kept it in my room all year. And then when regional time came out, I brought it back out and I sat it up on the shelf. And you know, if some players wanted to touch it or rub it on their bat, you know, we went ahead and did that. And then since we came here, since we usually don't play well here for some reason, I decided to bring some dirt from our field. You know, hopefully maybe we can play like we do at our field. So that's this Dick Hauser dirt here, and you know, I'm going to try using that, sprinkling on some people's bats today. So you know, it's all you know, superstitious, but you know, that's the kind of person I am.
Florida State hopes the dirt works in Game 7 against Stanford. The Seminoles 2-0 all-time against the Cardinal. Stanford enters Game 7 having outscored its opponents 39-15 in the NCAA tournament. Florida State wasted no time as Marshall McDougal put the Seminoles ahead.
And the pitch, line drive, right center field. That's a base hit. It's going to roll for a while. Coming around third is Griffin. He'll score. Throw goes to second. It's 1-0 Florida State.
In the second inning, Stanford responded. Nick Day singles, scoring Joe Borchard, and the Cardinal tie it 1-1. Still in the second, Stanford's Craig Thompson opens it up.
Broke down the line, fair ball, fair ball. One run is in. Second runner rounding third base. Day will score. Bruntlett rounding third. He's being waved as well. Here comes the throw to the plate. Bruntlett is safe there. 4-1 Stanford Cardinal.
In the bottom of the third, Josh Hokasang hits it to right. Matt Dias throws a strike to the plate, but Borchard plows right through Jeremiah Klosterman, giving Stanford a 5-1 cushion. In the fifth, John Gall added some insurance.
And the 2-2 pitch is swung on and hit deep down the left field line. Looking up is the left fielder Griffin, and that ball is gone. A home run by John Gall deep out of Rosenblatt.
But Florida State continued its great defense.
There's a hard bouncer, backhand stop by Groves. Can he get anything on the throw? Great play by Brett Groves at shortstop.
In the seventh, Florida State started a rally.
There's a base hit to left field. One run is in, that'll be it. Left fielder Nick Day gets to it, fires it into the cutoff man. And the 1-2 pitch swung on and missed, strike three, but the ball gets away from Alvarado. Klosterman heading down to first, and he is safe at first. They drop the ball. A run's going to score. Coming around is Diaz from second.
And with 2 men on, the Florida State fans willed the comeback. But Stanford's Dan Rich struck out Kevin Cash to preserve the 3-run lead. Stanford went on to win 10-6 and moved to 2-0, while Florida State suffered its first defeat. The dirt didn't work. Family support is so prevalent at the College World Series, but oftentimes the families are as nervous and as excited as the players. But one Texas A&M father has taken his support to another level.
That lets them know I'm in the stadium because sometimes it's kind of rare that I get to games. So that lets them know I'm in the stand. And, you know, the crowd, when the crowd screams together as a crowd, that's fine. But I like to do my individual thing, let them know I'm here.
All my teammates love when he comes. It gets them all pumped up. And he's a big supporter of me. And I love him to death, and he just screams as loud as he can out there. I always know he's there. You can hear him as soon as he walks in the stadium, and he just starts yee-hawing and everything.
Let's go! Aggies in the house!
And there was a full house for Game 8, an elimination battle between Cal State Fullerton and Texas A&M. A loss by either team means an early exit from Omaha, the proverbial 2 and barbecue. With the score tied 1-1 in the second, Texas A&M took the lead.
0-1 pitch to him, and he's got himself a base hit into right center field. Here goes, it's been misplayed by Stringfellow. Lindsey's going to try to go to second base, and he is safe at second base.
The Aggies could have padded that lead, but Cal State Fullerton catcher Craig Patterson guns down Greg Porter at third. Then in the top of the third, David Bacani tied it.
The pitch swung on. There is a drive. It is going back. Hello, goodbye. Solo shot for David Bacani. And we're tied at 2.
More Fullerton in the fifth. This time Spencer Oborn singles, scoring Bacani and Reed Johnson, and the Titans take a 4-2 lead. Matt Sorensen kept the Aggies off balance all game. He allowed just 2 runs in 8 1/3 innings. But Texas A&M rallied in the 9th, trailing by 2 with 2 outs and runners on 2nd and 3rd. As reliever Kirk Sarloos versus Chad Hudson.
The Aggie fans on their feet. Everybody standing here at the ballpark. The 3-2 pitch coming. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. And Cal State Fullerton advances in the NCAA College World Series. And Texas A&M goes home here in Game 8.
Game 9 between Rice and Alabama was delayed a day due to rain showers in Omaha. It's the first time a College World Series game has been rained out since 1985. But when the weather cleared up, the two teams were gunning to stave off elimination. And Alabama's Justin Smith came out firing. In the 2nd inning, he got Will Ford looking, then got Jason Gray for his 4th K through 2 innings, to the delight of the Alabama faithful. In the bottom of the 3rd, with the bases loaded, G.W. Keller got the scoring start.
Hard hit into left field. Williams going back, running catch. No, he can't come up with it. It's up against the wall. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. Here's the throw to the plate. He is safe at the plate. Hit first slide by Andy Phillips. It is a bases clearing double by G.W. Keller.
Meanwhile, Smith took a no-hitter into the 5th, and he got great help from 3rd baseman Brent Boyd, getting Justin Berg at first. But 2 batters later, Jacob Baker broke up the no-hit bid.
Line drive, right center field. First hit of the game. Baker's on his way to 2nd with a 2-out double. Scoring from 2nd is Will Ford, and it's 3-1 Alabama.
But the Crimson Tide got the run right back in the bottom of the 5th. Kelly Gullidge singled, scoring Andy Phillips. The Bama lead is now 4-1. In the 7th, Damon Thames came to the plate for Rice.
There's a ball hit well to left field. Going back against the wall, gone! Hello! And it's 4-2, Alabama.
Now the momentum was shifting in the Owls' favor. Rice reliever Jeff Nichols was focused, striking out the side in the bottom of the 7th.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, he struck out the side. Jeff Nichols, 1-2-3.
With 2 on in the top of the 8th, Rice coach Wayne Graham looked for more heroics from Thames.
Trying to come through for his team. 0-2. Well hit down the left field line. Way back it is. Gone! Damon Thames with a 3-run home run. And the Rice Owls lead it 5-4.
And the usually stoic Graham couldn't contain himself. But the Rice lead evaporated in the bottom of the 8th. A wild pitch by Jesse Kurtz-Nickel allowed Sam Blazanich to score and tie it at 5. Eric Smallwood had a chance to be a hero with 2 men on.
There's the pitch to Smallwood, change into right field, a base hit. Ford comes up with it. Throw to the plate will be safe. No, out, out, out.
In the bottom of the 9th, Alabama threatened again. This time it's Blazanich against Rice 8's Mario Ramos. Blazanich singles, scoring Phillips. Alabama wins 6-5. The Crimson Tide advance. Rice is ousted from the College World Series. And what would a baseball game be without food? The College World Series cooks up an array of mouth-watering delights. And to help the fans enjoy all the tasty options, Rosenblatt Stadium added a food court, complete with tables, chairs, and a big screen TV to keep up on all the action. Just one more example of Omaha making the College World Series special. Two teams that have been frequent participants at the College World Series met up in Game 10. It's the 10th appearance for Cal State Fullerton and the 17th for Florida State. And head-to-head in Omaha, the Titans have taken all 3 games from the Seminoles. Cal State Fullerton knew they had to get to Chris Chavez early, and they did. Spencer Oborn singled home Reed Johnson in the top of the first, and the Titans took a 1-0 lead. With 2 on in the bottom of the second, Brett Groves got it back for Florida State.
1-2 pitch, line drive into right field. That's going to fall for a base hit. 1 run is in. They're going to send Jernigan. Here comes the throw to the plate. It will not be in time. It bounces away. Down to second goes Groves on the throw. Seminoles take the lead 2-1.
But Cal State Fullerton got to Chavez again in the third. But the Seminoles defense got him out of it, turning a 4-6-3 double play, ending the inning to the delight of Chavez's mom. The defense sparked the offense in the bottom of the third.
There's a high fly ball deep left field. On the run, Oborn and Johnson, and that ball is into the seats. It's a home run for Marshall McDougal. Seminoles take a 3-1 lead. Here's the wind and the 0-1 pitch, and there's a drive to deep left again. Spencer Oborn back-to-back home runs. Matty Diaz clubs it out of here.
More Seminoles. John Ford Griffin doubled to score Ryan Bartholomew and give Florida State a commanding 5-1 lead. As Titan fans search for some offense, Chris Beck delivered.
The pitch inside, swung on chopper through the glove of the shortstop Groves, and scoring standing up is Bacani, and it is 7-2 Florida State.
But it wasn't enough. With a nervous mom barely able to watch, Chris Chavez goes the distance, mowing down the Titans in the ninth.
And the 2-2 pitch, fastball, strike 3, called outside corner. Chris Chavez has done it. A complete Game 7 hit, 2-run victory. And Florida State, for the first time in the 1990s, has won 2 games in the College World Series.
Game 11 is a rematch of Game 5, when Miami handed Alabama an 8-1 loss. The Crimson Tide comes in at 2-1 and must beat the Hurricanes 2 straight to stay alive. If 2-0 Miami wins, they advance to the championship game against either Stanford or Florida State. With 2 on in the top of the first, Miami jumped on top. Lolly Esquivel singled home Bobby Hill to give the Hurricanes a 1-0 lead. Alabama's Kelly Gullidge retaliated in the second.
Swung on, there's a drive to right center field. It's in the gap, rolls all the way to the fence. Around second, on his way to third, it's Brown. They'll wave him home, and Brown will score. And this game is tied at 1-1.
Then Gullidge scored on a sacrifice fly by Darren Wood, and the Crimson Tide took a 2-1 lead. But in the third, Miami's Mike Rodriguez answered.
Here's the 3-2. It is going to be a line drive, going to fall in front of the center fielder. Brown is rounding third. He'll be waved home. There'll be no play at the plate. This game is tied at 2.
And after taking a 3-2 lead, Esquivel came up big again.
The 3-2 to Esquivel. Fly ball center field. Pretty well hit, but off the wall. Hill will score. Esquivel with a double. Seaver will score. Miami is up 5-2 in the fifth. He's done it again.
In the seventh, Manny Crespo thought he had added to that lead.
Payoff pitch from Murphy. Here it comes. Drilled to deep right field. Smallwood going back on the track at the wall. He leaps and he made the catch. He takes a home run away from Manny Crespo.
Miami closer Michael New came on in the eighth and shut down the Crimson Tide. This strikeout of Andy Phillips ended the Alabama senior's 36-game hitting streak. Alabama couldn't rally in the ninth.
Knocking on the door. Can New slam it shut? Curveball bouncer back through the box to shortstop Hill. Will take it himself to the second base bag in time, and that's it. The final out here against Alabama. The Hurricanes win it 5-2. It's on to play for the national championship on Saturday against the winner of Stanford, Florida State.
A familiar face was at the 1999 College World Series. In fact, he's always at the College World Series. Legendary Southern California coach Rod Dedeaux has been to every one of Omaha's 50 summer classics. Omaha's a special place for Dedeaux. After all, his USC teams have won 10 championships, and one game in particular stands out.
Our victory over Minnesota when we were down 7-0 in the bottom of the ninth, 1 out. The great Dave Winfield on the mound had one scratch hit, and he had struck out 60. A lot of people felt we were in trouble in that spot. But we did rally, as the history book would be, scored 8 runs and won the ball game.
Game 12 match 3-1 Florida State versus 2-0 Stanford. The Seminoles must beat the Cardinal 2 straight games to reach the championship game and face longtime rival Miami. On the other side, Stanford comes in on a roll. The Cardinal has benefited from excellent pitching and look for more in this game. Stanford loaded the bases in the bottom of the first. Josh Hokasang's double brought home Craig Thompson and Jeff Rizzo, giving the Cardinal a 2-0 lead. Still in the first, Nick Day added to the lead.
1-2 pitch on the way, swung on, hit on the ground to the left side. Shortstop Groves makes an excellent play, guns it across the diamond, but it pulls the first baseman off the bag, so 1 run will score for the Cardinals.
In the second, catcher Damian Alvarado gunned down Chris Smith, and everything was going Stanford's way. But finally, in the top of the fourth, Ryan Bartholomew put the Seminoles on the board.
The 1-2. Little chopper. It's going to be charged by Gall. It is fair. They only make a play at first. They get Bartholomew. It is 3-1 on the fielder's choice.
After Florida State made it 3-2, Stanford pulled away in the bottom of the fifth. Alvarado single scored Hokasang, making it a 4-2 lead. Later in the fifth, Stanford loaded the bases for Eric Bruntlett.
Here's the pitch, swung on. It is a chopper to the third baseman. It goes into center field. Scoring standing up is Alvarado. Scoring standing up as well, sliding in, is Nick Data's, a score of 6-2.
But the Seminoles refused to fold. In the sixth, Marshall McDougall's double to deep center scored Bartholomew, and Stanford's lead was cut to 6-3. Florida State made it 6-4, and the momentum was turning.
Now here's the stretch in the 1-1 pitch, and there's a drive to deep right field. Back goes Borchard. This ball is gone. We've got a tie ball game as Sam Scott nails it into the right field bleachers. Florida State and Stanford are tied at 6. Sam Scott with his 10th home run of the year.
Then in the seventh, John Ford Griffin hit into a 4-6-3 double play. But it scored a run to make it 7-6, and for the first time all night, Florida State had the lead. And Matt Diaz patted it.
The 2-1 pitch, there's a high fly ball to center field. Youth and Borchard going back to the track, now to the wall. It's off the base of the wall and rolling away. Here comes run number 8 around to score. And it's a double for Matty Diaz.
Florida State got the final out and survived to play another day. The Seminoles staved off elimination once again and forced a rematch with Stanford. Both Stanford and Florida State know the consequence of Game 13. The winner moves on to face Miami in the championship. The loser must wait till next year, and neither team wants to wait.
This is baseball. We cotton picking play baseball. We're going to have fun. Golly bum, I wish I could play today. My clubs weren't good enough. We're gonna play. Just get out there and play Florida State baseball. Just get after it. No matter what happens, we roll through it. I want to play tomorrow. I don't want to go home. I want to play tomorrow. We got plenty of time. Get yourself good and loose. Good work.
As Miami coach Jim Morris and the rest of the Hurricanes looked on, Stanford and Florida State took the field for what would become a game for the ages. With runners on first and second in the top of the first, Joe Borchard put Stanford on the board with a double. Jeff Rizzo came around to score, and the Cardinal took a 1-0 lead. The score moved to 2-1 when Florida State's Ryan Bartholomew came to the plate.
The 2-2 pitch, changeup hit high to left field. Back goes Nick Day to the warning track, to the wall. It's gone. Home run. Ryan Bartholomew ties up this ball game with the wind blowing out to left.
Later, Marshall McDougall also went deep.
And the 0-1 pitch, fastball, high fly ball to deep right. Borchard back at the warning track, turns around, it's gone in the second row of the right field bleachers against the wind. Marshall McDougall hits a 2-run shot. The Seminoles up 5-2.
And the Seminole fans insisted on a curtain call. Florida State continued its roll, leading by 4. Sam Scott scored on a single by Chris Smith, and the lead grew to 7-2. But Stanford loaded the bases in the top of the 7th.
Here's a pitch swung on. There's a drive to left field. It might be out of here. It could be. It is gone. It is out of here. A grand slam home run for John Gall, and Stanford within 1 now at 7-6.
Still in the 7th, Stanford continued to rally.
2-2 pitch from DeBlasi, swung on, hit hard and deep out to left center field. Going back is Smith at the track. He makes the catch. No, it bounces out of his glove. He hits against the wall. 1 run will cross the plate for the Cardinal. Alvarado coming around. It's a triple for Nick Day, and this game is tied at 7 runs apiece.
The next batter was Edmund Muth.
Here's the stretch, the 1-2 delivery. Curve swung on. There's a drive. Right center field. It might be out of here. It could be. It is. A 2-run home run for Edmund Muth, and Stanford takes the lead 9-7.
In stunning fashion, the Cardinal put a 7th spot on the board in the 7th. But with 1 on and no outs in the bottom of the 9th, Florida State's Kevin Cash countered.
The stretch, and the 3-2 pitch, high fly ball, deep left center, on the run, Day and Muth to the track, to the wall, tie ball game, tie ball game. Kevin Cash has banged it out to left center field, and the Seminoles have come back. It's 9-9.
This game would go to extra innings. Now it's Stanford's turn again. With 2 men on, Josh Hokasang singles to give the Cardinal a 10-9 lead in the 10th. One batter later, Damian Alvarado added to that lead.
Swung on, there's a bouncing ball up the middle, and the second baseman has it. He'll throw home, and the run will score. And it's now a 2-run lead for Stanford at 11-9 here in the 10th inning.
As Stanford celebrated, Florida State dug deep in the bottom of the 10th.
Here comes the wind and the 3-2 pitch, and there's a drive to deep left on his horse's Day, and Muth to the track, to the wall. It's gone. And the Seminoles pull to within 1. Marshall McDougall makes it 11-10.
Sam Scott. He hit a game-tying home run last night to help force this deciding game today. Here's the pitch. High fly ball, deep left. Back goes Day and Muth. It's gone. It's a tie ball game. It's gone. Sam Scott's done it again. It's 11-11. Florida State has tied it up. Holy mackerel. Do you believe it?
Come on, baby. Make them dirt. Come on, baby. Good pitch.
With 2 on and nobody out in the bottom of the 13th, Florida State had Stanford on the ropes.
Here's the 1-0 pitch, and there's a high fly ball deep left field. The ball game is over. It's a home run for Carl Jernigan. A 3-run homer for Carl Jernigan. Florida State's going to play Miami for the national championship tomorrow as Carl Jernigan hits his 4th home run of the year. And the Seminoles have beaten Stanford in 13 innings. The final score, Florida State 14, Stanford 11, and they're partying at home plate.
If you'd like to learn more about that incredible baseball game or other facts concerning college baseball, log on to ncaabaseball.com. When the 1999 College World Series began, 8 teams set their goal to win the NCAA championship. 6 of those teams have been eliminated, but 2 teams still have the opportunity to realize their dream. Florida State and Coach Mike Martin desperately seek their first College World Series title, while Miami coach Jim Morris would love to put the demons from the agonizing 1996 loss to LSU behind them. The stories continue. These 2 programs know each other well. During the regular season, they met 6 times, with Miami winning 5 of them, and 4 of those games were decided by 1 run. And though the rivalry is intense on the field, to a man there is a mutual respect and admiration. When Mike Martin was hired as head coach at Florida State, Jim Morris was the first person he hired to be his assistant. The most pressing issue for Florida State? Who would pitch? In the 13-inning epic against Stanford, Mike Martin depleted his staff, calling on 7 pitchers.
How would y'all feel if you're playing for the national championship against a team that's beating you 5 out of 6 and you ain't got an arm? But I'm gonna tell you what, it's an uphill battle. It's been an uphill battle, but thank the good Lord we're gonna play for it tomorrow.
So to the shock of the 23,563 in attendance, Martin went with Blair Varnes. The freshman right-hander was thought to be done for the season following an ACL injury suffered during a post-game celebration in the Super Regional. In fact, surgery to repair his ACL was scheduled for 3 days after the conclusion of the College World Series.
We need to play every inning like it's our last. Every at-bat, swing the bat, play good deep. Let's bring home a championship. What time is it? Game time! 1, 2, 3, let's go!
In the bottom of the first, Miami looked to get on the board early.
There's a high fly ball to right. That's going to score a run, but Matty Diaz will come up and make the catch. Tagging at third is Hill. Here comes the throw to the plate, and it is out at the plate. What a great job by Jeremiah Klosterman. He blocked home plate, and Bobby Hill couldn't get to it.
So with the defense providing the spark, Florida State got on the board first. John Ford Griffin's single scored Brett Groves, and the Seminoles took a 1-0 lead in the top of the second. But that lead didn't last long.
Fly ball left field. Is it going to be deep enough? Oh, you better believe it's deep enough. The score is tied as Kevin Brown has knocked it over the bleachers and out of the ballpark with home run number 22, RBI number 63. We're tied at 1 in the bottom of the second inning.
Then Florida State gets it right back.
There's a drive to deep center on his horse as Brian Seaver drifting back to the track. It's out of here. Sam Scott spanks his 3rd College World Series home run, and the Seminoles retake the lead. It's 2-1.
Seminoles held that lead until the bottom of the 5th. Chris Clute singled to right, and Marcus Nettles came across to tie the score at 2-2. After Miami took a 1-run lead in the 5th, the Canes loaded the bases for hot-hitting Kevin Brown.
Well, I knew this was going to be a pivotal moment in the game. I mean, 2 outs, bases loaded. We had them on the edge. We were ahead by 1, I think, at that point. And I was just looking to make contact.
Swung on, ripped into right center field. It is going to drop. 1 run scores. Here comes Crespo. Up with it is Diaz, rounding third Lolly. He's being sent home. A 3-run double by Kevin Brown, and the Hurricanes lead at 6-2.
Of course, when he hit the double to knock in 3 runs and put us ahead by 4 runs, I really felt in my mind we're going to win from that point with our bullpen.
But the Seminoles did get to the Miami bullpen in the 7th. With runners on 2nd and 3rd, Kevin Cash singled to left, and the Hurricanes' lead was cut to 6-3. And Florida State continued to battle.
2-2 pitch swung on and missed. First base is occupied. The ball goes all the way to the backstop, and scoring a run is Sam Scott.
And after Ryan Bartholomew tripled in the 8th, John Ford Griffin brought him home with a sacrifice fly, and the Miami lead was trimmed to 6-5. And Mike Martin hoped his team still had some energy left.
I had flashbacks of '96. 1-run game, 9th inning. This time we were a home team and weren't visitors. I looked in the dugout a couple times, and I saw all 3 coaches, and they were just tight as they could be. And I was just thinking to myself, God, please let this be our season. We deserve it. We worked hard for it. Let one fall for us this time.
And Mike New was the man to do it for the Hurricanes. The Miami closer started the 9th by striking out Scott. But the Seminoles were still optimistic. But with 2 outs, Kevin Cash was Florida State's last hope.
It kind of crossed my mind, we're up by 1 run, you know, I don't want to give up that home run to lose the game, but once I was out there, I felt like I regained my composure, and I stayed focused. And that last pitch, you know, it's tough when you know you're 1 pitch away from winning it all.
The right-hander rocks. The 3-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed! Miami's done it! They've won it! They've done it! 1982, 1985, 1999. The Hurricanes are the champions of college baseball. Final score, 6-5, and the Crushers being crushed under the pile. They did it! They did it!
I looked at all the coaches and we hugged, and then went around on the field and hugged the players and everything. And from that point, you know, it's a kind of a numb feeling. I don't really know how you feel. It's, you know, you're so excited. There's so much pressure on you in the dugout before that last pitch is thrown that you kind of go numb when you do get it done.
It's incredible. You know, it's a victory, and then, you know, you sit down and think about it, and you're like, you know, what did we exactly accomplish, you know? What is it, you know, because it doesn't sink in, because it's so great, and it's awesome. It's just, you sit there and you think about everything you've done all year, and then you really come to appreciate everything that's happened and what you've had to do to get where you're at.
It was just a great sense of relief for everybody. I mean, we had come so far, and I'm sure it was a great relief off the coaches' shoulders and everybody. I mean, it was just a great feeling all around.
Felt good to finally get the monkey off the back of, you know, it being so long since we won a national championship, and I'm proud to be in the tradition of the University of Miami and, you know, continue that success with the national championship.
Just going to the World Series every year is not satisfactory to that program. They want to win it. It's a very, very high standard. For me, you know, it gives me a chance to say, well, we've won 1 and hopefully we'll get another one.
Everybody back in Miami, we love you!
The Miami Hurricanes win the 1999 College World Series, helping Omaha celebrate 50 golden years of baseball.